Austria attempting to equal his personal best, 215 kilos on that bar. And the 20-year-old Austrian from Bregenz has got himself a total. Didn't panic, prepared, 395. 395, David, whatever he does, it isn't going to win the championship, but you've been doing some calculations as to who might and what they've got to do. So run us through.
Well, that's right. Gottfried, who placed third in the... Just wait for the the noise. Wait for it to quieten down slightly. That's right. The second of the poles, Doliga, snatched 192, so he's going to need to clean and jerk 225 if he's going to overtake the man that lifted earlier.
That's Schmorzkopf, the Russian.
Schmorzkopf, yeah. Then we go down to Gottfried, who snatched 190, so he'll need to do 227.5. And then moving down to Robert Dolega, he'll need to do 230. And then all other lifters going right the way down to the guy in 9th place, the Russian Gleb, will have to do 232.5.
So everybody, David, is going to be pushed very close to their own personal bests here to beat the Russian, who's just returned to the commentary position with our Russian colleagues. And Rode picks up the bar, 217.5 kilos. And that, at the moment, puts him into second place overall. So Matty Steiner coming out for his second clean and jerk in this, the men's 105 kilo class. David Goldstrom together with David Morgan in the Torvar Hall. If you've just come in to join us, let me tell you that Vladimir Schmorzkopf of Russia, who lifted earlier in the B group, has won medal in the first half of the competition, has a 5 kilo advantage over Marcin Doleja of Poland, the younger of the two brothers, with the experienced Ukrainian Denis Gottfried in third place on 190 kilos. Everybody else, 187, 185, down to 9th place. Now this, a second attempt now for Steiner, and 217.5. He's going for a new personal standard here. He was third in the Junior Worlds, and this is a big increase, David, from last June. I mean, it would be 10 kilos up on what he did in the Junior World Championships. He has done 215, in fact, between now and then. But this is his breakthrough season, if you like, into senior world ranks. Coached by that man, Majed Salama of Egypt. The world champion, Schmorzkopf. Who knows, he might, for the second year running, become world champion after competing in the B group. A bizarre and hopefully not to be repeated occasion. Tabakoli, the Iranian champion, not looking his best. Tabakoli down in 11th place with only 185 kilos. And that's a technical description, really. Tabakoli actually 7th in the after the snatch rankings, but if you add in one or two of the B group performers, then he's actually further down. One or two other performances worth mentioning. Florin Vlad, no relation to Nicu Vlad of Romania, got a total of 400 from the B group, 180, 220. 220 is the same as Schmochkov, clean and jerk, so that's not bad. Valeko Mozadze of Georgia, 180, 215. So some good lifting earlier on in the day. And this, if you can do it, will be 397.5 for his total. It does take a while. Now, was there a... Oh, no. He just couldn't hold it overhead, David. But he is only 20 years of age. He has improved.
Yes, and the crowd appreciating that effort, realising that although he knows he's not in the medals, he's here to do well and to try and make new personal best, and he really did give that everything.
And also, David, I mean, I suppose Austria's where well, some people would say where East and West Europe, you know, in a sense, meet. But he is, you know, he's up against the Poles, the Bulgarians, the Turks, the Russians, the Ukrainians, the Iranians. And only Andre Rode from Germany is the only other Western European competitor on the field.
I'm impressed with him, actually. He sort of gradually improves every World Championships. He's slowly moving up the field, and I won't be surprised in a couple of years' time if he could be an Olympic medalist. So the bar now moving to 220 kilos. It looks as if it's going to be Gottfried of the Ukraine. Remember, Gottfried snatched 190, so for him to go into the lead on the overall, he needs to do at least 227.5.
Yes, I'm not surprised to see him. I think he's actually going to come in later. But I was about to say, it wouldn't surprise me to see him come in that early, because I've seen him do this before, get a lift and gain a bit of confidence and then be a little bit more of a free spirit. But in fact, it's all changed now, because here's the younger of the two Doleja brothers who's come in.
Yes, obviously much stronger in the snatch lift. Waited until all finished, until he came out and started with 192, but coming in much earlier on the clean and jerk.
Yeah, but if he was going for real glory, he had to really complete the snatch to the highest of his standards, which would have meant as close to the world record. He needed that 197.5, basically, and he hasn't got it. Well, that was fine. Well, he's certainly got the total, and maybe, David, maybe that's his tactic as well, to make sure that he's got a total. I mean, he has 227.5 as a PB, but maybe having done that, he will relax a little bit more, because he was certainly quite twitchy and tense in the snatch phase.
In a sense, though, you feel as if something's being taken away from Schmochkov, because had he been in this weight class, he would have known what weights to have selected. As it was, he did 220, and then he took a jump to 227.5. If he'd actually been lifting along with these athletes in the A group, he may have just taken 225.
Yeah, but I mean, you were speaking as if he didn't have any say in the matter, and the fact is he did. The weight that he entered was a weight that he and his coach, after discussion, had decided. This isn't based any longer on what Schmochkov did last year, did 6 months ago, or whatever. It's an announced total.
But if you're not in the competition, if you're in the B group, you don't know the tactics of the A group competition. So the weights that you select, you're lifting blind, aren't you?
Well, you're lifting to a plan, and all you can do to a plan and hope that plan is good enough.
Which is a disadvantage, because you don't really know, because you're not lifting in with the A group lifters.
You can't react.
Exactly. So it's a disadvantage.
So Pizarevsky, the other Russian, not an auspicious start with 222.5 kilos on the floor and not over his head.
And again, underlying why is this why is this man from Russia in the A group and the other guy was in the B group? He's not as good.
But it's a good question, David, and I can tell you there are a number of officials in the International Weightlifting Federation who've gone around asking exactly the same question, and they can't get any suitable answer. Tabakoli now, 222.5 kilos for the Olympic champion. And this is way down. This is 12.5 kilos below the amount that he lifted in the Olympics. Fair dues, though. You wouldn't expect him to be primed to that point.
Well, he came very close to his personal best in the snatch. Did 185, and then just missed that 190.
Well, he doesn't waste any time. Very confident. Now, what was your calculation on Tabakoli? Because Tabakoli was down on 185, so he's got to do what?
232.5. Yes, you see, and of course the other advantage that the A group lifters have got is that they knew what Schmorchkov weighed in at, so they could look at the body weight and think we're going to weigh in at less, and they could just sit in the sauna and lose that extra, 0.1 of a kilo or whatever. Yeah. So there's quite a lot of disadvantages to being put in the B group, especially when the competition is this close and this competitive.
So now Andre Rode. Well, so far 4 out of 4.
He's looked very good so far. In fact, even though his snatch was a personal best by 5 kilos, he looked as if he could have gone, even more.
Well, this is another personal best coming up now. He's been as high as 8th in the world super heavyweight rankings in his time, but I think he looks so much more comfortable inside the 105 kilo limit. Good drive, nice leg strength. Needs to hold, little fragile overhead, but he's got away with it. 2-1. So the centre referee, David, maybe deciding that that's Appy Poteau of France, maybe deciding that there was a press out here.
Yes, maybe, well, it's debatable, maybe just on the right arm. Not obvious. So he's having a great day, isn't he?
5 out of 5. New personal best in both phases of the competition. And so just at the moment the leaderboard shows Schmorchkov still of course in the lead with a total of 417.5. Marcin Doleja within 5 kilos. Tabakoli, the Olympic champion, 10 kilos off the pace. Andre Rode, 10 kilos off the pace. And now Pizarevsky. Got to make up for this failure.
Yes, and this is supposedly the first string Russian.
Well, we both think that's nonsense, don't we? What he has saved himself. He does have a personal best of 2:30, David, in the clean and jerk. So he's the stronger of the two in the clean and jerk. And so that has put him in to 5th place overall, but he's still, with only 2 lifts left, 10 kilos behind his teammate. And he weighed in at 150. So if he takes 10 kilos, well, he could get ahead by virtue of his lighter body weight, but it would be 1 lift or would have to be one lift. So now they're getting ready for older brother Robert. Robert down in 4th place, 2.5 kilos behind Dennis Gottfried at the halfway stage. 104.25 body weight, so heavier than Gottfried, heavier than his brother, but lighter than Schwarzkopf. $227.5 kilos is his personal best. We're going to keep you in touch. I gather you've lost the pictures at the moment. This is Robert Deleja with 225 kilos on the bar, and that is a good lift and a good first attempt. Now he's got to go to what?
232.5.
232.5.
No, 230 because he snatched 187.5. So,
and he's lighter.
And he's got body weight, so possible.
That is possible. 2 lifts to go in minimum increments, but he would have to improve his personal best by 2.5 kilos to do it. But who knows, David, what younger brother couldn't do, older brother may do. www.weightlifting.de for all your thoughts, questions, emails to David Morgan and myself, David Goldstrom. So, penultimate day of the 2002 World Weightlifting here in Warsaw. Really good crowd in the hall. Here's the snatch bronze medalist, opening his account in the clean and jerk with 225, and he needs to pick up 227.5. So, nice clean. Very strong overhead, David. Very strong, that's fine.
Yes, doesn't waste any time. He's very strong. His technique's just slightly not as good as it used to be.
But now it's really getting very interesting, because Dennis Gottfried, who's lighter than Schwarzkopf, is now within 2.5 kilos of the impudent Russian. I mean that in the nicest possible way. Just disappointed, David, that he denied us the opportunity of seeing in amongst everybody.
So this lift now, very, very significant, because it means if he succeeds, it'll be on 4:17.5.
And in the lead.
And we'll go into the overall lead.
So this for Poland to take the lead in the men's 105 kilos. And this time he's got plenty of time. He always needs 30 seconds. You can see how twitchy he is.
Yes, and this is the point where you need somebody in the hall telling the crowd how significant this lift is, because I'm sure some of them will know, I'm sure some of them won't.
Coming down to 10 seconds. It's a mental problem, David, isn't it? I mean, it's just not there at the vital moment. Question asked, couldn't answer. I mean, it's easy to sit here and criticise David, but, you know, you've got to remember he's still in the junior ranks, you know, he's a baby. But you can't help thinking that his method of preparation is something that could do with working on this. Barbara Sachmajinska almost glued to the situation, you know. She's been there, remember, she had a terrible championship by her standards, 5 failures, 1 repeated lift, and then she finally got what ultimately was the 7th lift to break a horrible cycle for her. So she knows what it's like having a tough time out there. On the other hand, Agata, what a cracking day yesterday. Party time. in the Torvahol. I'll tell you what, it would be party time if this boy can get it right, because he's got every chance of getting an overall medal if he can lift it up, but he's only got one more chance. And this is where the experience, David, of people like Dennis Gottfried really comes into play. And we've also got to watch out for the likes of Hossein Tabakoli, the Iranian. I mean, remember, this man is the Olympic champion, and suddenly, you know, he's not that far away. He's 7.5 kilos. Let me just have a look at that. He's Tabakoli is 10 kilos away from the lead, but not an impossible 10 kilos for him. So 40 seconds now, even more time to go through this tortuous routine. You must do this. One drive. Believe this. Come on, he's got to get on with this. No, you can't hang about with that sort of weight on your shoulder. He lost belief in the middle of that, David. You could see there. He was sure, then unsure, then sure again, and all that was going on. And whilst all that was going on, his chance of a championship medal, or even the gold championship medal, was just disappearing. And I don't know what you think, David, you know, the importance of sports psychologists, but this was lost in the head, not in the...
Yes, we could see it in the face. There were so many doubts, and as you say, even during the clean, there was a point where he kind of didn't believe, and then he believed again.
So Andre Rode now coming on. I mean, he's done all the personal bests, so now he's having a really good crack at this. He's going to have a 5 kilo increase, and this will take him up to 412.5 kilos. And
it will put him in the lead on the clean and jerk, which is pretty significant, and it'll be a huge personal best for him. And of course, this now over 500 pounds.
Yes, it won't put him into a medal position in the overall, because Marcin Doleja, despite those two failures, has got lighter body weight.
But it'd be a fantastic effort.
Oh, it'd be a great sequence. It would be 6 out of 6.
I mean, this would be some lifting.
10 seconds.
Already done well. Now needs to stand.
Yeah, he's done that. Now. Oh no, just a fraction too heavy.
Well, I don't think he can be disappointed. He's had a great day.
Yeah, the coaching team are applauding him off the stage and giving him a hug and a pat. I think you said right from the beginning, David, when you saw him, that he was lifting better than you'd seen him for, well, perhaps forever, but certainly for a long, long time. And that's very good, because he's ended up on 407.5, and that, by our statistics, David, is a 7.5 kilo increase on his personal best. And that's very good indeed. And that's over the Hungarian Grand achievement of earlier on in the season. But it's not over yet, as they say. It's Sudas now, yet to start, and my man Sergeyev still to come.
Yes, this would put Sudas on 4:15. So it goes quick. Strong in the second phase. That's a good start for him.
Yeah, he's got a personal best of 2:35, David, so it's all thing up nicely now. Sudas, the light man of 103 kilos 30, got body weight advantage on everyone, and is now only 2.5 kilos behind Shmoshkov with 2 lifts to go. And And incredibly, on this, the penultimate day of the championships, Turkey without a gold medal. 21 countries with medals at the moment. Turkey have got medals. They've got 4 silvers and a gold, but the usual 3 gold start by Halil Mutlu, because the Herculean Turk is not here, has meant that they're still looking for that overall championship. And who knows, Sudas might be the man. But he's going to have to beat the Olympic champion to do it. Second attempt here for Tabakoli, and this is to take him up to 4:15. Is he as strong as Sudas? He's very smooth. That was smooth as silk. And this is turning into be a cracking little competition, David. I mean, that's taken Tabakoli up into second equal place. Well, technically he's second equal. In fact, through body weight, he's down in 4th place and out of the overall medals. But, of course, he does have one more lift to come. This is for 417 and a half.
And the lead. So can he do what his brother couldn't?
Yeah, this is big brother.
And big brother do what
Little brother
couldn't do.
Well, he's got one more go. Well, mustn't forget about this man, David. Dennis Gottfried, currently 3rd place in the clean and jerk, and this would give him the lead at 420 kilos.
Better. So he takes the lead on 420 kilos.
And so, finally, Vladimir Shmotskov, the defending world champion, who competed earlier in the day, has been deposed from top position by the Ukrainian, the man who won this title in 1999 before the Sydney Olympics.
So there it is again, 230, and he goes into the lead for the first time. As I said earlier, it's a shame that Shmotskov wasn't in this class, or in the A final, I should say. Because maybe he could have taken less on his final clean jerks and have still been in the lead.
Well, here's Gleb Pizarevsky. Now, this is a 7.5 kilo increase, so this is going to whiz him up to 215 kilos. Sorry, 415 kilos.
Well, that's better than 222.
Well, not to be, and he is not the better of the 2 Russians. As you can see, he's down in 8th place with only 407.5 kilos, and his lifting is done. But he's got 2 clean and jerk attempts. Dennis Gottfried's got 1. Hossein Tabakoli, the Olympic champion's got 1. And the homeboy has got 1 more. Now, the significance of this lift here would take Robert Doleja up to 417.5 kilos, and it will put him into the overall silver medal position.
Zdecydowanie, Robert.
What do you reckon, David?
It's possible, but no, didn't get it right. So he finishes in 6th place on 412.5. And you can see the disappointment. Cleaned it well. But then it all went wrong. So I can tell you that the bar is now moving to 232.5 kilos. This is for the Bulgarian, Sergeyev. He snatched 185, so got a lot of catching up to do on the clean and jerk.
So Sergeyev, 2.5 kilos short of his very best.
Yes, and this is still your tip for the top?
Absolutely, 3 attempts. Shades of Zlatan Vanev of a couple of nights ago. Vanev down in 8th place at the halfway stage. Sergeyev 6th. Remember Vanev? 2 lifts for victory.
He does look good on this, the clean and jerk, doesn't he?
Sergeyev leads the clean and jerk rankings with 417.5 kilos and is now in overall, but he is heavier than Dennis Gottfried. And so we have a situation where Sergeyev has got 2 lifts to come. Gottfried has got 1 opportunity.
So just waiting to see who is going to be the next lifter on the platform. The bar's now on 232.5 kilos. Okay, so the bar's 235 kilos. The man going on the platform, Sadas of Turkey. Now he snatched 185, already has 415. This would put him on 420 kilos. And if you remember, weighed in as the lightest man in this class. So he knows that a success with this, his second attempt, would put him into the lead by virtue of his lighter body weight. Right on his personal best.
But he certainly looked good overhead. If he can get it onto his shoulders, then he's going to be a handful for the rest.
Does the dive start? Grabs it and pulls straight away.
Coming up to 10 seconds though.
Well, once he decides to go, that's it.
Yeah, but he's getting very... 5 seconds.
And off he goes. Oh, well.
Well, that's a wasted life.
So Hussein also deciding to take 235, and this coming back to the form that he showed in the Olympic Games.
Well, he was smooth as silk with chucking the bar overhead. So to me, David, it's a little bit like if he gets the clean, and he's got every chance of completing the lift. And at the moment, he's the man who's sort of coming from farthest back. Hossein Tabakoli was behind Sergeyev of Bulgaria. He was 7th. Sergeyev was 6th. Sudas was 5th.
Yes, I think the difficulty is this man is getting the weight onto his shoulders. Once it's there, he seems to be able to stand up pretty well. And he's looking dangerous. Well, that's a shame.
It is, because it's his last attempt. He was pretty close. And as it is, he finds himself at the end of the afternoon in 5th place overall, in the clean and jerk in 4th, and as I mentioned a few moments ago, down in 7th place in the snatch. So there's no Iranian medal on this, sadly, for them. But he's arguably, David, looked to be the first Iranian who's been really in there competing, fighting for the medals. The others have looked very shadowy. Now, Denis Gottfried for the Ukraine. This is really interesting, because what he's trying to do now, David, is turn the screw, because he is the overall leader with 420, but of course he's got the lightweight Sudas to worry about. But this would give him 425, which means that Sergeyev is heavier, so he'd have to go another 10 kilos.
And of course Sudas would have to go to 240, which is 5 kilos over his personal best. So, as you say, Gottfried really trying to pile on the pressure now with this lift.
Yeah, this could be the medal-winning lift, the gold medal-winning lift. Not to be. That's 3 reds and not a completed lift, and so it's not quite there. He clings on to the lead. But 235, big weight, and he was going 5 kilos above his personal best to try and make sure.
So he now just has to sit back, wait, and hope that he's done enough. And I think the question whether he's done enough is going to be answered, well, in the next 40 seconds.
Not Sudas.
It's not there today.
Oh, David, it's my man, Sergeyev, who stands between Denis Gottfried and the championship. And Sergeyev has got 2 attempts. He's won the gold medal in the clean and jerk with his first attempt of 232.5. Now he needs 5 kilos more.
And that's exactly what's going on the bar, 237.5 kilos. Now, is this a personal record?
237.5.
Or is it an equal best?
No, it is a best. It's a best by 2.5 kilos. He's got plenty of time, 45 seconds still.
I bet he's kicking himself after missing that snatch on 190, because if he'd succeeded, the 232.5 would have been enough for the overall. Because of that failure, he's put himself under real pressure. He's going to need a personal best to win the overall.
Good drive. That was a better clean than the first one. He's got one more go at this, but he's only got 2 minutes, David, in which to pull himself together.
Well, we've seen him do this before. We've seen him come out on a second attempt to win the World Championships, fail it the first time, and then succeed on the final attempt. So all going to come down to the last lift of the competition.
Yeah, the European champion. Clean and jerk, 205 kilos at the European Championships. Together with the snatch of 185 makes 420.
So the bar weighting 237.5 kilos. For this man, the Bulgarian, Alan Sergeyev, he knows that a success would mean victory. It would mean that he would be the overall world champion. So the clock just ticking away. 1 minute 15 seconds. So just under a minute to go. As Chagoyev walks onto the stage.
I'm a believer. Let's see how we do here. Alan Sergeyev, 25 years of age. Began his lifting career for Russia, and then for no sinister reasons. I think his mother was working in Bulgaria, and that's one of the reasons why he moved across. Drives up for the clean. Hips under the bar. Oh! How close was that, David?
So
the championship goes to the Ukraine, to Denis Gottfried, the champion in 1999. Pushed all the way. But it's Sergeyev of Bulgaria who will get the silver with a total of 417.5. Shmotchkov, the man from the B group, who gets the overall bronze medal. And Sudas of Turkey finishing in 4th ahead of the Olympic champion. Again, body weight separating 4th and 5th positions.